OFREMI is the French Observatory on Mineral Resources. The OFREMI has been set up in order to bring information to the French government and the strategic French industries, not directly to bring them responses to their issues, but to give them all the tools to take themselves the right decisions, whatever they are political or industrial. So we are on the daily basis monitoring raw materials market, raw materials production. We are performing risk analysis, and also when needed, we can go up to stress testing. With all of this, we can support the global French strategy in terms of CRM, in particular when it addresses the challenges of the energy transition or the digital transition. Of course, a raw material value chain is never on a single country. So developing resilient value chains requires working with other countries. And on this, there is a mineral diplomacy that is managed at the state level, at the EU level, at the G7 level. And the OFREMI is not an actor directly in these bodies, but the OFREMI is bringing its expertise mainly to people at the French government or people at DG Grow or DG Trade when needed. SCRREEN in these pictures is the European Expert Network on Critical Raw Materials. So SCRREEN has been established to gather all the experts that can bring all together information to the European Commission, mainly for working on the criticality assessment. But in parallel also, and in particular in the future, SCRREEN also will contribute to the targets of the Critical Raw Materials Act by our foresight reports, also by contributing to the monitoring actions in particular. So the stress testing will be a key action of the Critical Raw Materials Act. It appears in two articles. The Article 19, where the stress tests are performed at the EU level by the member states, and the Article 23, that asks industries to perform in-house their own stress tests and to report to their board in order to orient their internal strategy of de-risking all along their supply chains. In this framework, the OFREMI, as the national agencies in charge of critical raw materials, will support both the French government and the industries in having access to the right level of information. But also, we are in charge to develop the stress test methodology in France, and not later than last week and last month, together with our German colleagues from the DERA, we started experimenting such an approach on a specific case that was on the germanium and gallium value chains, where DG Grow asked us, through our government, to work together to bring information at the EU level in order for them, after, to find the best options to reinforce our positioning on both germanium and gallium value chains. So this stress testing will be a key tool in the CRM Act, but performing a stress test requires a lot of information. A lot of information from the value chain itself, from the production to the final products, but also to the positioning of the different industries in these value chains. And to be successful, a stress test has to involve the industries and the public bodies. So we need today to engage these industries, and this was the aim of a workshop that was organized by EIT Raw Materials last week, around the work we did with DERA on germanium gallium, where we presented how we worked, what were the difficulties we had to face when we were assessing these value chains and performing the different stress test scenarios. So we hope that in the future, with the right governance or the right process in terms, in particular, of confidentiality, we will be able to contribute as national agencies to the critical raw materials stress testing activity.